What's up, Stripe Nation? Blake Alberts here with B&B Lawn Care. I'm back here with my buddy Caleb and Brittany Auman, owners of Auman Landscaping, and we know the whole deal. Brittany owns.
I work for her. She signs my check. That's right.
But we're here at your shop, and so I want to do a little shop tour here with the Aumans.
This train wreck. We've got some stuff in from projects right now, compactors, generators, these gang boxes, which will go out on jobs here in a little bit. And we're operating what's about we're coming up on $1 million in sales out of a 15 by 40 foot unit. And I don't have Blake's level of OCD in this, so my shop isn't like super great at being organized.
This is what our garage looks like too right now, right, Natalie?
So yeah, so it's a super mess, and a lot of it is stuff just needs consolidated. But the long story short, we're needing to get things cleared out, but this is it. This is where we run. This is what it really looks like, pretty regular. So, and it's not cool and it's not good. The bad thing is, like my buddy Andy Mulder says, you know, if you spend time looking for stuff, you're wasting time and wasting money. So
yeah, absolutely.
Things need to be organized in a way where you know where it's at, you grab it and you go. Because we're in here fishing for like where the heck is, like that's wasted time and that's not productive. It's not efficient. So this isn't cool or funny. This is a train wreck and my shop shouldn't look like this.
This is real life though, by the way.
It doesn't make it okay.
It's always a work in progress.
That's absolutely true, man, for sure.
So we were kind of talking that, well, everybody, like all lawn guys, all landscapers, all construction people go from renting, you know, their shop to wanting to build a shop. Like that's like the ultimate dream is to have a house and a shop and all this. So do you and Brittany have those conversations about
all the time.
Like, hey, should we build a shop now? Is it time? Or are we just not there yet? Like what's your thought process on the whole shop thing?
We're definitely at the point where I've been
weird the weird shadow here, my guy.
We're at a point. I've been here for 10 years, which is crazy to think, but I've been here for 10 years, and our rent in this building is really cheap. There's no electric, no water, no nothing. So rent's really cheap. But we're at a point where A, we've outgrown it, and B, we need to be putting that rental money into, and like I said, rent's cheaper. If I were paying $1,000 a month, we would have built a long time ago. But we're at the point where we actually just put in an offer on a piece of land that's separate, zone commercial from our house. I don't want to put my shop at my house personally because I want the shop to be its own real estate investment. I want to build this shop, build this facility, sell it in 30 years when I retire, or sell it to the kids or whatever if they want it, the company, whatever. And so it's a separate retirement portfolio thing to me. So I want to buy this land, build a shop, and sell it down the road.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's the game plan. But if I had the acreage, I'd probably build it my own house, but I don't have the flat acreage to do it. So with that said, like, I would just be nauseated if I'd been paying $1,000 or $1,500 a month to rent a shop facility that I'd had for 10 years and knowing that I had thrown away $150,000 over 10 years. If I was paying $1,500 a month, I would be sick to my stomach knowing that. Like this unit alone, this unit by itself is $200 and we pay more for the outdoor area. So, you know, just knowing even over, and it's grown exponentially. It's grown the cost over the years because we keep taking up more and more outdoor space. But for the most part, we were at $200 for years. Wow. So our rent was super cheap.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool. But we're really at the point where we need a facility because we need to have bulk materials. We need to have a place to have materials delivered to and stage some stuff and all that stuff. So for us, it's just like we're looking at the money, we're plunking down. It's time. We put an offer in on some land. We'll see where that goes.
Congrats on that, man. That's sweet.
It's very exciting. I hope the Lord wills it because it's gonna be really cool. So, but for the most part, rent as long as you have to, and just know what your future game plan is, and just try to keep your overhead down. That's the biggest thing, is try to keep your overhead. Your overhead is your cost of your facility, your rent, your mortgage, whatever that is. Keep that as low as possible, run as lean as you can, so you're able to reinvest in the company and things that make money, like buggies and, you know, better tools and better trucks. Pay your people more, which is huge, which is maybe one of the most important things. And you know, so keep your overhead low so that you're not, when times get tight, you're not, you know, engulfed by a crazy mortgage payment or rent payment or something like that.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad we're doing the shop tour now because maybe we'll come back in a couple of years and it'll be totally different and changed.
I pray the Lord wills it that it's actually in the spring. So
that's awesome, man. That's really cool. Yeah. Well, let's go check out some machines, man.
Yeah, sure, man. We've got over here, so we've got some stuff in from projects right now. The Bobcat just came in off a project. It's going back in town here, I don't know, at some point whenever my foreman decides. But we've got a couple things here. We got our porta john on wheels. I get lots of questions about
the
this
world famous porta john on wheels.
Yes, it's fantastic. So this is from a company called Porta Clean or something like that. They've actually
No, it is from Porta Clean.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, they changed their name. It's something else now. But we rent this entire unit. It's like 160 bucks a month. We take it to them for servicing, generally about once a week during peak season. You can have these delivered just themselves. They'll service it on your site. But what this does is it saves you having to pay your guys to go in town to use the restroom. Absolutely. Or the embarrassment of a client seeing them go in the woods or God forbid anywhere else.
I tell people all the time, like I used to have a guy that did it. I'm like, dude, look up, there's cameras everywhere nowadays. Like,
it doesn't matter. You're on camera now from the facility. Yeah,
it's so bad for your company
image. It's a horrible image. And then on top of that, the cost of like paying your guys to find a gas station, go in the gas station, do that, whatever other things that come with going to the gas station and standing in line, you know, buying a Slim Jim or something. Like all that crazy stuff. This thing keeps your guys on site, keeps them productive, keeps them comfortable too. Like it's just nice. Tuck it around the corner of the house, throw a piece of camo netting over if you have to. It's just, this thing pays for itself threefold easily every month. Absolutely. Got buggy here. This is a candycon buggy. We absolutely love this thing. It's a powered wheelbarrow on tracks. This is something I highly recommend if you're in landscaping or hardscape construction. This thing is amazing. You want one with the swivel because you can drive alongside a trench like a French drain, swivel that tub around and dump gravel in that trench as you go. These things are worth every penny you pay for them. About 16,000 new. You can buy junk ones like this for about 5,000 or 6,000 used.
But do you suggest people they have like a dingo or something before they go buy this, so you're not like shoveling stuff?
Yeah, I mean, a mini skid steer, depending on where you're at, either buying a skid steer or a mini skid steer, I think is a great first piece of equipment. I really think that's like, if you're in landscaping, you ought to have one of the two machines.
I know this is a random tidbit in the video, but what about for a guy like me? You kind of know the stage in business where I kind of need a machine. We're doing a lot of landscaping. Yeah. It's like a dingo or a ditch witch, like what you would suggest.
Absolutely, mini skid steer without a doubt. Yeah, if you're doing enough landscaping, you've got to figure out what you're renting one for that you just absolutely have to have, and then also the ancillary stuff around it just be handy. So like, I would say, like, from what I see you using, a mini skid steer of some kind would be really handy for you, and I would say it'd be justifiable expense for sure.
Would you say that over a tractor, since I could do some other things?
Yeah, that's a question I get asked a lot, and I would still lean like mini skid steer versus tractor. Tractors are somewhat limited when it comes to like lift capacity, speed, you know, and a lot of people are gonna lay some comment hate down on that, but like the reality is you can't, if you got to lift, load, and push stuff, you're not gonna beat this thing. Yeah. Period. Now tractor, you could bush hog with it and all this stuff. These will do that too, which is why I love having a track machine. They're just so versatile, so durable, but tractors aren't a bad game to be in, but they're just not as productive. I mean, there's a reason you don't see tractors on construction sites. Right. So
now what's this big guy?
This is not even that big of a guy.
It's a big guy to me. Yeah.
It's a T595. It's a 95 horsepower, I think. No, what the heck is it? I forget what it is. But it's a diesel skid steer loader. We absolutely love this thing. We actually lease this from Bobcat. We're on a 4-year thing with it for 628 bucks a month. It's incredible. It's an absolute steal. If we want to buy it out at the end of the term, it's 21 grand additional, which we plan on writing a check for it and owning this thing. Awesome. To be honest, we haven't put that many hours on it. We only got like 600 hours on it, I think, right now. But it's just one of those things that's so handy to have. We just have to have it to be able to move. It's the biggest little machine we could afford. So we can pick up 2,300 pound skids with this thing of bricks and pavers and retaining wall block, get them on a truck, get them off a truck. We had to have that because otherwise we were off, down stacking pallets so our mini could pick them up. Just didn't make sense. So a few years ago we jumped into this, which actually replaced our junk Bobcat we had prior to that. So yeah, you got to have stuff that reduces labor, reduces fatigue on your guys, and this is just another piece of that puzzle.
And how many trucks are you guys running, just so we don't miss that?
Yeah, a lot of stuff's out. I think there's 3 trucks out right now and 2 parked here right now. So this one's that's on its way out of the fleet here because it's just a rust bucket and giving us a lot of trouble. Right. But that's our setup. Right. So we got 5 trucks, I think, or something like that. 4 guys, 5 trucks, something like that. So kind of a backup.
I like the design here.
Yeah, my buddy Brian Kellett at Stump Plants is a genius. And, awesome. He did that layout for us. This is our hardscape trailer, kind of a little shop on wheels, and we just, It's a freaking disaster right now because we just came off of a project. My boys left. My boys got in here with a cat all the time. They're gonna wonder what those were. We'll take that home to them. Hey, Brett, look.
That's hilarious.
It's been. They're gonna wonder where they're gonna say, "Where's that been?" So yeah, so we can haul our candycon, the buggy, and our ditch witch in here, which is super cool. And we've got our pneumatic tools for lifting big slabs of steps and stuff like that. Our clamp for steps, our dustless saw. We've got a microwave, fire extinguishers, safety, all our safety stuff. First aid kits. Notice that's been unused. That's great. Praise God.
That's very good.
Combat application tourniquets. Just God forbid something horrible happened. But for real, we worked with big machinery and heavy stuff and saws, and somebody cuts their hand off, or you put a tourniquet on that thing, and that's people laugh at that, but that's serious.
It is.
And just all your. I would say we'd probably get rid of that, but we need to go through this thing clean up. But yeah, just
like everybody, man. I mean,
it's real life. It just is what it is.
And this is really awesome. And
the shop town, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Mr. Bo came up, put that on there. But yeah, we've got it's a cool setup. Actually, I love this trailer to death. We don't use it as much as I wish we would. It needs to be parked on site more, but it's so big. It's such a hassle to get on.
So do you have another trailer?
No, but the Bose truck, the hardscape truck, has all this crap in it somehow. I don't know how, but we've got boxes and gang boxes and tool boxes all over that truck.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's got everything. Everything you see here within reason is on that truck already. So he's kind of autonomous alone in that truck. But
so then, do you guys run open trailers then? Like your guys, are they running open trailers today, or?
Yeah. So we've got another equipment hauler. It's got the hoe up on a job a couple hours away on a commercial project. So the hoe's up there. This one's just, we were doing so much out of town work, and the other equipment hauler trailer was always tied up, and we needed another one. So it's on a job, so it's on another job. Our dump trailer's on another job. We've got an International 4300 flatbed dump truck. It's on a job.
Whoa.
Bose F350 dually crew cab. It's on a project right now. We're missing something. Oh, the F250, it's up on that stormwater job. So we just got stuff scattered around and doing things. And we got this truck, which is a giant pile of junk. It's a 7.3. Everybody loves the 7.3 diesel, but the rest of it's rotted out around it.
And she's got the real equipment over there, the little dump truck.
I know. Yeah, she's got the real equipment there. So
that's awesome.
But yeah.
What size is this trailer?
It is. This is a 24 foot. And it's just a fuzz too big.
8 foot
yeah,
wide?
it's huge. I think it's 8. It's huge. It's so big.
That is huge.
It looks fantastic going down the road, right? It looks
with
super
the picture of your work.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Of course, all the social media stuff, and then just a brief, description of what we do. Just bam, simple to the point.
Bam.
It's a TikTok, Twitter world. So everything's got to be at a glance, understandable.
Yeah.
So right there, it's what we do.
Clean and simple.
To the point. Yep, absolutely. The concept is awesome. Dump trucks are a must-have if you're in landscape construction.
You would choose a dump truck over a dump trailer?
Depending on what level of business you're at, but you need to get into a dump truck at some point.
Really?
With a bazillion boxes on it. Or at least we want tools. I don't want my guys to have to leave site for a single thing. I want every drill, tool, saw, you name it, I want it on that truck. It does not pay to go to town or go back to the shop to get anything. So I want these trucks, and all these trucks are really pretty well outfitted. Like, it has everything we need.
So, like, I hear a lot, like, with the ramp rack and stuff, and like all this is like, what if your truck breaks down? And same thing, like, if you have a dedicated dump truck, what if the truck breaks down? That's a big worry.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's fair. And what my counter to that is, like, you need to be working your tail off to get to a point where you're not worrying about your truck breaking down. So you've got to hustle and crush to get to a point where you have reliable equipment or you have a backup. And that's just, I think maybe that sounds pretentious or arrogant, but you need to be busting your ass to be and charging the right amount of money to buy the newer, nicer stuff that is reliable. So it's not a concern. And that sounds rough, I know, but I've been there.
Sometimes you just have to get the raw and real info, man.
That's the real deal. Like, and Britt, you'll soften me out on this, but I've been there. And this thing's a pile of junk, but when you own junk, like, we kind of accept that this thing's gonna break down, and we just, like, the guy's like, hey, the 7.3's down. It's like, all right, whatever, get it towed, or what do we gotta do, get it repaired, whatever. And fortunately, we have backups for it. Dump trailers are super handy, and I would definitely recommend a dump trailer is a super handy dual purpose, you know, machine. So I don't think we'll ever not have a dump trailer, frankly, because we have one. I love the thing. Britt, what's your input on that?
Just if it does break down, I mean, you just unload it and you move on. You can't afford to stop and cry about it. You just go get it fixed, put the stuff in another truck, and go back
and
to
use
work.
it as motivation to be getting ahead in your estimating and your pricing, to where it's like, in 16 months, I'm gonna be able to put a down payment on a nice truck or buy one straight out cash and just get ahead in the truck game.
It will break down enough that you're tired of going and fixing. You're like, you know what? All this money we're putting in a new dump truck at the end of the year. That's just what it is. And the next year you're good, but you have to make those sacrifices along the way. And
keep you know, accruing that money, keep recouping that money, so you can keep rolling into new vehicles, trade that one in 3 or 4 years and get a new one and keep in warranty and keep all that. I mean, that's the way we look at it. Downtime right now at our size, and we're a little company, we're gonna kiss $1 million this year, I think, maybe. Downtime kills us. We're paying our guys way too much money per hour to be standing around on site waiting on a truck to get fixed. And so, like, we just cannot have machinery that doesn't work. It's gotta be reliable, it's gotta run, it's gotta be newer, or it's gotta have a backup that you can immediately jump into, leave this thing on the side of the road, get on another one and go. So, but I've been there. I've been the young kid contractor that has no money, can't rub 2 nickels together kind of thing, and you just got to work and strive and hustle to get out of that and use that as your motivation to get away from that stuff.
You know what I love is, like, well, now it wasn't even supposed to be like a video like tour around the US, but now I've made like 3 or 4 videos with guys like Nick Carlson with Mulchmate. The can-do attitude, like, it sounds so silly, but like all the successful people that I talk to, it's just like, figure it out,
dude.
Just do it.
You step over it and move on. You got to be looking out here and stepping over all the nonsense in the meantime.
Because I was always an excuse maker. Like, as a kid, it was like, why wasn't your homework done? This and this and this.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do good on your test? This and this and this.
Right.
But in business, it's get it done. Well, what happens if your truck breaks down? Get it done. Figure it out. Unload it. Like you said, unload it. Figure it out. Go rent one for a week.
And that's what separates the men from the boys, of who gets it done and who succeeds. And you look at the guys with longevity, they just, you just get past it, man. You got to be tough, or you got to have grit. You got to push through it. You can't cry. There's no time to cry and whine. And I've done my fair share of that. Believe me. I'm talking like a tough guy now.
It's taken us 10 years to get here, and
Yeah.
to be willing to just suck it up and do it. I cried a lot of times, like a lot of crying.
I mean, there were times where everything we had was riding on a piece of equipment, and it'd go down and just like, Lord, what are we gonna do, kind of thing. So I've been there. I get it. It's tough, but you've got to use that as your drive to get out of it. And you just get to a point where you're not worrying about equipment. That's why, like, this thing's 3 years old. I never worry if it's gonna start. I never worry. This truck, I worry if it's gonna get stranded somewhere.
That truck is for sale. In case
that truck is
wants to
for
know.
sale, by the way. If anybody's interested, I'm losing my voice here. I get some water. But yeah, you've just got to.
Yeah, you're getting
I wasn't telling you to
all
do that.
over me.
I know. Yeah, it's like cough. You don't cough in public anymore, right? But I've been talking all morning. It's killing me. So yeah, you've just got to get out of. Really, in any stage of the game, like, you either need to have a backup for your backup, you know, or for your main unit. Thank you, my love. Oh wow, thank you for this.
That's hilarious.
Don't spill it.
Yeah, really, yeah.
It's like on holes over here.
Thank you, honey. That's all we have. You know, we got, you know, nice brand new machine.
We had
Can't
to fix our equipment, so we couldn't afford
can't afford any more water. But thank you, baby. But yeah, it's just, I just so get it for the guys that are struggling. I'm gonna lose my voice, Blake.
I'm gonna get corona. I need a mask over here, man.
Yeah, those work. Anyways, I've been talking for 2 days straight, man. It's killing me. But yeah, so, you know, ultimately, you just gotta hustle, get over this. You can't have a woe is me attitude. You gotta knock that crap out of here as fast as you can, and just buck up and get things done and press forward.
I mean, you find that with this business especially. I mean, just construction, landscaping, lawn care. We're just out in the heat.
Dude, it doesn't matter if you're in a pizza shop. Business is all very universal like this. Like, the owner of the pizza shop, believe it or not, struggles with the same things we struggle with. Labor. How am I going to buy supplies? How am I going to pay rent this month?
How am I going to upgrade my pizza oven?
Yeah, how do I get a faster pizza oven to crank these suckers out quicker? You know, how do I deal with customer complaints? it's all universal. So the entrepreneur mindset is not woe is me. It's how am I going to crush this, step over this, Ray Charles of the nonsense, all that. Like you just have to be tougher than the rest. That's all it comes down to. You have to be tougher.
That's great. This video wasn't meant to be a motivator, but
I know,
my
right?
goodness, this is like, there's always days, and I don't know if your guys' stage in business or what, but like, you're just at the end of the day, you're like, did I even make money today? Like,
Right.
what? And you just feel like the whole world is coming down on you. So videos like this
yeah.
are really good to like remind you.
Oh, we
just
still
that
deal with that all the time. We're
like,
not beyond that, man.
pick you up and let's go, man.
I'm a bootstrap guy. Yeah, you gotta get yourself up by the bootstraps, and we still constantly deal with days where it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? What,
you got a porta potty on a trailer. What am I doing, man?
Yeah, really,
We're trying
like,
to pay
this is what
bills
it's come
over
to,
here,
right?
No, but we have jobs that go poorly, and it's like, man, maybe like, do we really need to get out of this service? Like,
Right, yeah, or just like
And
got
you-
trucks nickel and diming us to death, and it's like, man, I don't know, maybe $1,000 a month truck payment doesn't sound so bad after all, after sinking nearly $1,000 a month in it for the past 3 months of repair bills. You know, it's just like, Lord, help us see through this. Like, what are we gonna do? You know.
What about this one? Is like if a job goes bad and you know, the guys take a little bit longer, and you guys are doing office work, and you're like, man, maybe I just need to go back into the field and
yeah.
hustle my butt
And-
off and stop paying people.
For sure.
like sometimes you just can't stomach, like if they're, you know, say they're 20 hours over what you estimated.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I've got to go out there and I've got to like try to get this thing back on track. And that does happen, and you just can't help it.
Right.
Yeah, but for the most part, you talk to your guys about what's going on, and a lot of times, just a lot of times the reality is like the office is out of touch with the field, or we just forget. You know, it's like, you know, those guys aren't going to kill themselves like you are going to kill yourself. Nobody, you know, very rarely is that going to happen, and the guys will bust their tails for you.
But no one's
Don't
going
get
to
me
work
wrong.
as hard for your business as you do.
Yeah, constantly, right? Like
Yeah.
24 hours, you know, 24/7 like the owners do. Just not that way, and that's okay, by the way. That's how it is.
That's why they don't own their own business.
Right, and it's they don't want that level of nonsense. And Steve Jobs says it best: the sane people quit. He said you've got to be insane to keep going as the owner of the business, right? Because the people that have sanity are like, this is insane. I'm not doing this anymore. So I always thought that was really funny. So we deal with days where it's like, oh, I swear, you know. And then we have weeks that it's like, this is so cool. We've really built something cool here, and we're so proud of it.
A lot of
And-
time I think people are too hard on themselves when they think about things. Like,
me.
you
Yeah,
think about
sure.
everything that's going wrong, like, man, like that didn't go exactly as I thought. But if you look at the big picture and how far you've came even over the last 3 months or the past year, it's like, I mean, I've accomplished so many goals, and I've grown my company, and I've bought a skid steer now, and we have a dump truck. And it's not a great dump truck, but we have one, and that was a goal.
Right.
So you have to keep in mind the big picture and what you've learned and accomplished along the way, and not focus on what happened last week.
100%. I love that. All right, Kayla, Brittany, here, give me a little fist bump action. Make sure to follow them on Instagram at Auman Landscaping, and we'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.